Last night's rain left some damp conditions around our area. I'll let you know when the next round comes in and if it'll affect the evening commute.
Holiday travel rush. Memorial Day weekend is almost here, and we have you covered on the road and at the airport. WRAL has team coverage of what you need to know before you start your trip.
Game 1 shocker. The Canes are in the hole in the Eastern Conference Final after a big loss to Montreal at Lenovo Center. How the Canes hope to get back on track for Game 2. Oh, there is a lot going on this Friday morning as you're joining us here at 6 o'clock on WRAL News. We are so happy that you're here with us. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. So many big plans for a big holiday weekend. We begin with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with the forecast to help you plan. And right now we have some wet streets and roads, Elizabeth.
We do. And Ken's going to talk more about how that can affect your morning commute. We did have some good rain overnight last night, but a little break now. Some showers back to the west, but this is not going to be a big player in our rain today. We'll have a better chance later this afternoon. We'll walk through that. So things are pretty quiet in terms of any rain falling around the triangle right now, but that will change. Our front stalls over us, not just today, but all the way into early next week. And we'll see waves of rain moving along this front. Here's a look at this morning. By the time we get to 7 or 8, we see that next round sliding in. It's really just going to be patchy and light for us, not that good heavy rain that we saw in some places last night. But that changes late afternoon. Another round starts to move up from the south, and that will bring us a chance for rain in the triangle around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. That wave will move through, and then we will be on repeat with that sort of pattern, mainly late afternoon showers and thunderstorms into the overnight hours. So a next best chance doesn't come until much later today, but it could affect your traveling, especially if you're heading to the beach. It'll be cooler today with highs only in the mid 70s, and then we're back into the 80s for the holiday weekend. We'll talk about how much rain we could end up with total coming up, Ken.
All has been happening now out on the roadways. We are seeing those damp road conditions depending on where you are this morning. But right now, we're not seeing any delays in terms of being impeded by those damp road conditions. Here's a live look at I-440 and Ridge Road, that northern loop of the Beltline, just free and clear this morning. And that's indicative of what we're seeing on all of our major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wade County area, coming in from Apex, Gardner, Johnston County, maybe Knightdale. We are picking up a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest, but you're going to get to your destination on time. Nothing that's going to make you late. Tune us in on the radio when you head into your car, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. We're working to learn more about this head-on crash in North Raleigh. This was the scene on Falls River Avenue before 3 this morning. You can see one car crunched between a car and a tree. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there while Raleigh police investigated. We've asked if anyone was hurt in this crash. We will bring you those updates as we learn them. Today is the start of a very busy travel weekend. AAA predicts a record 45 million people are expected to travel either by car or by plane over the Memorial Day weekend.
Well, and this is why we have team coverage talking about that this morning on what you need to know before you head to your destination. Let's go ahead and start with WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's been kind of out and about on the roads, letting you know about the best times you should leave this weekend.
Yes, Chris, if you're planning to hit the road this weekend, you have a lot more to think about than just higher gas prices. We're expecting to see a lot of traffic on the road. Let's go ahead and give you a live look now at 40 East here. So we're not seeing too much traffic for the moment. We know that a lot of folks will be using this route to head to the beach this holiday weekend. Here are the best and worst times to hit the road this Memorial Day weekend. The best time to leave is right now. Start your trip before 11 a.m. The best time to drive back on Monday is in the morning before 10 o'clock. Avoid getting on the road today after 11 if you can. And then the worst time to drive back on Monday is between 12 and 5 o'clock. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll talk about just how much more you're paying for gas this Memorial Day weekend compared to last. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And let's take a look at those gas prices as you get ready to hit the road. AAA says the average for a gallon of gas in Raleigh is $4.26 a gallon. Over in the Charlotte area, $4.21, and in Wilmington, $4.27.
And Renee, TSA is preparing to screen millions of people at airports across the country this weekend. We find WRAL's Ali Kadabar right now at RDU. And every half hour, Ali, we have seen the line at TSA grow and grow. So how long is it right now here at the 6 o'clock hour?
Well, Chris, it has gotten a little bit shorter, but we are still seeing that it is stretching to the windows here in Terminal 2 and kind of wrapping around a little bit. I have been speaking with travelers. They are a little stressed when they see how long this line is. Now, travelers are noticing that there's construction here at the airport, especially that wall up here at Terminal 2. It's part of the airport's $2.5 billion expansion. RDU says the only effect it should have on your travel experience is more parking in Economy 3 lot. It's nearly doubled in size. This graphic shows the lot now has about 7,300 spaces. It will soon have nearly 11,000 for travelers. Now, even with extra parking spots, we spoke with travelers who said they still are making sure they get here early.
Well, it was a little bit hectic out there, but it wasn't too bad, and that's why we came, almost an hour early.
Yeah, almost an hour early. They weren't too stressed about it, but that was when the line was a little bit shorter. Again, now the line is looking long. RDU lots are looking like they have some space for now. Reporting live in RDU, Ali Kadbar, WRAL News.
And I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center, tracking cancellations and delays here at home and across the country. Right now at RDU, we have about 14 flight delays and 3 cancellations, something to keep in mind if you're heading to the airport right now. And then Charlotte right here, we have 24 current delays. We know that this is normally a stop for people who are traveling in different areas across the country. Taking a look at the misery map this morning, though, we're seeing a lot of green on the board. The greatest impact that we are seeing right now is at LaGuardia in New York. So, of course, we'll keep you updated throughout the day and, of course, this morning on travel conditions as people are heading out for their long holiday weekend.
Yeah, Atlanta looks a little more green than I thought it would right now. Thanks, Laura. Well, you can stay with WRAL all day and through the weekend for the latest travel conditions, but make sure you tune in to WRAL News tonight from 4 to 7:30. We'll tell you about how we're monitoring long weekend departures that you should know about.
It was a rough start for the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final. They were defeated by the Canadiens 6-2 last night at Lenovo Center. Montreal quickly put the game out of reach by scoring 4 goals in the first 12 minutes of the game. The Eastern Conference Final continues to be a difficult series for the Canes. They are now 1-13 in this round since making it to the final since 2019. Now, game 2 of the series is tomorrow night. Puck drop is at 7 p.m.
WRAL is looking for answers after the state filed a lawsuit against VinFast. North Carolina officials said that the company didn't meet its promise to build a multi-billion-dollar facility in Chatham County. Years after the promise of a multi-billion-dollar economic boom, the land set aside for VinFast's EV plant still sits empty. Well, now North Carolina's Attorney General, Jeff Jackson, is suing the automaker. The lawsuit is attempting to take the property back after accusing the company of failing to deliver on jobs and development promises. We spoke with people who live nearby and work in that area. They say local businesses were counting on the influx of workers and customers.
People that are commuting outside, they're eating somewhere, they're spending money on fuel and other expenses. But if they were able to work within the community where they live, they would be promoting and stimulating their own home communities.
WRAL reached out to representatives for VinFast for an update on the project. The company told regulators last month it planned on opening in 2028. We also asked them why construction stalled and what the company plans to do next. We're just waiting on a response.
This morning, the NASCAR community is honoring and remembering Kyle Busch. This was graphic that was displayed at Charlotte Motor Speedway last night. The 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion died yesterday at the age of 41. His family and his team announced his passing. They say Busch was hospitalized with a severe illness, but did not specify what it was. NASCAR called him one of the sport's greatest and fiercest drivers. Busch won 234 races across NASCAR's 3 national series, the most of any driver.
Well, it's a new era for baseball in Zebulon, and it's starting tonight as the Devil Dogs will kick off opening night of their first season at the newly named Nomeco Park.
That's where WRAL's Kirsten Clark joins us live, all decked out. Kirsten, I know there's a lot of excitement, and you've been checking out the gear. Love it.
Oh, yeah, Renee. Thank you. At this point, I just keep adding to my get up here, but I wanted to show you this shirt. It says, "I'm just here for the cotton candy." This really speaks to me. And you add hot dogs, popcorn to the list, and it is golden. And the fun started yesterday with the Fan Fest and ribbon cutting here at the stadium, and it continues tonight as the Devil Dogs take on the Virginia Beach Valor. Single game tickets are just $22, and included in the price is all you can eat concessions. And most of the Devil Dogs on the field will be college players from Australia. So we asked the team's GM about what fans can expect tonight.
You'll see the players signing autographs. They'll be very involved in the show. Just a fun atmosphere, an atmosphere that is about the people here, not just what's going on the field. And then we've got the Australian tie-in, which makes it really fun as well.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun here tonight. There'll be post-game fireworks for people to enjoy, and then more games as well as fun-filled promotions throughout Memorial Day weekend and into Memorial Day. So the only issue is that this shirt does not come in my size, so I'll have to talk to some folks about getting that done. All right, live in Zebulon, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Some really good finds in that merch store. Kirsten, thank you. The Holly Springs Salamanders are celebrating their opening weekend with Champ the Bat Dog tonight. And K-pop fans will enjoy their theme tomorrow night. And Sunday is the night for Star Wars fans. The Salamanders will celebrate Memorial Day with $1 hot dogs.
Your time is 6:11 on this Friday. Case dismissed. The trial of a former assistant principal accused of ignoring warning signs before a school shooting is now over. Why the judge ruled to drop the charges.
School closures. Parents and students voiced their concerns after several schools are put on the chopping block. Their desperate plea before a final decision is made.
Damp and drizzly heading out the door for the kids at school. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s. And then as some kids come home, especially in our southern counties, there'll be some showers and thunderstorms. Definitely cooler than yesterday. I'll walk you through our rain chances through the holiday weekend coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, a lot of us saw a good soaking overnight last night. Wait till you see where some of the pockets of heavy rain were. In the meantime, things, of course, have settled down pretty nicely. We do have some scattered light showers back to our west. Some of that will roll through this morning, but our next best chance of rain really doesn't come until much later today. By mid to late afternoon, we see some rain in the south starting to lift northward. That'll come across the Triangle area later on, say like 9 or 10 o'clock this evening. Even so, it is cool and damp out there, so you may want to take your workout inside. You could get a run in this morning without getting too wet, though. Temperatures are in the mid-60s, and we'll see highs in the mid-70s. Coming up, we'll walk through the timeline for rain all the way through the holiday weekend. Ken?
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We're here to make sure you know exactly what to expect if you're heading out maybe to kick off this holiday weekend and, of course, going to work. But right now, we want to focus on folks who are headed maybe to the southern beaches this morning. I-40 Jones Sausage Road. Those are the eastbound lanes moving away from us this morning. Heading to the beach, not bad. But if your routine involves air travel, we're also checking all the routes heading into our RDU International this morning. And right now, we're not experiencing any delays on I-40, Highway 70, or even the 540 this morning. So you will get to the airport on time. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. The criminal charges against a former Virginia assistant principal accused of ignoring warnings that a young student had a gun have been dismissed. The charges against Ebony Parker stemmed from the 2023 shooting at Rich Neck Elementary in Newport News. A 6-year-old student shot and injured a teacher. The prosecution accused Parker of dismissing warning signs that the student had a weapon. The defense argued that the fault lied with the teachers who failed to take action. The judge ultimately ruled that Parker's actions were not a crime. The case was dismissed with prejudice, which means it cannot be brought to trial again.
The mother of a Moore Square middle school student said all students will cross on the floor, not the stage, during their 8th grade graduation ceremony today. This was after she asked for accommodations for her daughter's mobility needs. Shannon Dingle's daughter, Zoe, is graduating 8th grade alongside her classmates today. Zoe is wheelchair bound. So her mom asked if a ramp could be provided. That way, Zoe could cross the stage with her peers during the ceremony. Well, Dingle says she and her daughter were made to feel that getting a ramp was a hassle for the school. And now she worries there won't be good visibility for parents to see their children cross the floor. That was not the outcome she hoped for.
I just want to see my little girl graduate from 8th grade tomorrow, and I want for her and her classmates to be able to walk across a stage with a ramp. I don't know that that's going to happen, though.
We asked Wake County School Superintendent Robert Taylor about this situation, and he says he will look into what happened here.
Parents, students, and staff are speaking out against conversations about closing several schools in the Chapel Hill Carrboro City School District. More than a dozen staff members, parents, and students came out to a public hearing last night. Ephesus, Glenwood, and Sewell elementary schools are being considered for closure. This comes as the school system faces budget issues and declining enrollment. Speakers emphasize the special learning opportunities at the schools. The school board will continue receiving feedback and make a decision on closures in June. If you're going to be staying in town for the holiday weekend, lots of fun planned for you. We have some ideas for you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, so let's talk about it in WRAL's Out and About. You have the Animazement Convention getting started today, and that's happening at the Raleigh Convention Center. It's a celebration of Japanese animation, culture, and traditional arts. The convention runs through Sunday, and tickets are available. They're online at animazement.com.
Turtles, lizards, and snakes. Repticon 2026 gets started tomorrow over at the NC State Fairgrounds. The convention lets reptile breeders and educators show off a wide variety of scaly, cold-blooded creatures. The event runs from 9 until 4 tomorrow and 10 to 4 on Sunday. Tickets are available on the Repticon website. Sunday will be a chance for people to indulge their sweet tooth. The NC Sugar Rush Festival will be at Raleigh City Plaza. There will be tons of desserts, including cakes, ice creams, and cookies. The event lasts from noon until 6. For more weekend activities, go to WRAL.com, search Out and About.
You know, Elizabeth, we had like a long stretch of beautiful sunrises, but kind of the opposite right now as we're looking at Pinehurst. There's some fog and just kind of a dreary beginning to our day.
You know, typically once the sun comes up, you know, there's already a crowd out there at Pinehurst, but it's drizzly and cool this morning. So I think that's keeping everybody inside. We're not seeing visibility problems everywhere. It's really just in the Sandhills this morning, a little pocket there, even at Pinehurst, not even showing up as a quarter of a mile. But of course, we saw some rain last night and there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So we're seeing some fog in spots. 61 is the temperature in the Triangle with a northeast wind at around 8 miles per hour. What is new this morning is really the same thing that was new yesterday. And I know you're saying, well, that doesn't make it new. Well, kind of it does, because the rainfall totals yesterday were trending higher. They're trending even higher this morning. We could see 2 to 4 inches in some places by the time we get to the end of the weekend and early next week. Still not quite enough to end the drought. We still need 10 to 15 inches. Right now, we're dealing with a few sprinkles, some patchy light showers. We'll have a better chance for rain late afternoon, evening, and then that will be the pattern really through much of the week. That's all because of this stalled front here. We're on the cool side of the front right now, bringing us the cool temperatures. We've had a few isolated showers. A little light rain around Greensboro may slide eastward into our area, but I wouldn't expect anything significant now until we get to the afternoon. We're fairly dry around the Triangle and for most of the viewing area. But look at what we saw last night. The big winners over here in parts of Northampton County, 4.5 inches of rain. There in Vance County, 2 inches. We saw 2.5 inches in parts of Chatham County, and then parts of Lee County, Moore County, and Harnett County. Also some big totals. Parts of the Triangle area also saw up to 1 inch of rain. So it was some good looking rain. Not everybody saw it. You know how it goes with thunderstorms. You know, it typically falls in pockets where it's heavier. As we get through the morning, we don't have a whole lot of rain in the forecast. Another line will develop to our south and bring us the chance of rain. If you're headed to the beaches this afternoon, you're going to run into it, but it doesn't arrive in the Triangle until much later, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock. And we get a little bit of a break, and we have another round on Saturday. Futurecast starting to show that rain as early afternoon, and then just continuing through the afternoon for Saturday. So we have maybe the best chance of rain all weekend Saturday, and then at 60% all the way through Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. How much more rain will we see? I think it's going to be pretty easy to get another 2 to 3 inches, and maybe 4 in some places. We need 10 to 15 to end the drought. Of course, the drought monitor came out yesterday, and even more counties had expanded extreme drought. So we definitely need that rain. Temperatures are cool today at 75, and then we're back to near normal as we get into the holiday weekend. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping you updated, and just in case you have that road trip plan ahead of this Memorial holiday weekend, so if I-95 is part of that commute, here's what we're looking at. No delays whatsoever in I-95 as we look live at I-95 and Highway 97 there in Nash County. Similarly, we're not picking up any delays on I-85 as well. Many of you use I-85 as a route to head out of town, or maybe you have some friends coming into town as well. Those of you heading to work this morning, we've got you covered too. We're not picking up any delays whatsoever on any of our major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wade County area, short of a 1-minute delay if you're coming in for Break Forest this morning. All the other major routes, I-40, completely delay-free. You're getting ready to head into the cartoon that's in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Change in leadership. The town manager and assistant town manager in Benson have resigned. What happens next as the town faces a financial crisis?
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is no more.
Yeah, we're going to bring in right now Ken Smith to talk about it this morning and what's trending.
All right, the curtain coming down for the last time on the Stephen Colbert Show. The network canceling his show last summer after 13 years. Now, plenty of surprise guests made this last night's special, including rock legend Paul McCartney, as well as actors Bryan Cranston and Paul Rudd.
And there were also taped appearances from his fellow comedians, Jon Stewart, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, John Oliver. All of their shows went dark last night to allow Colbert to have the spotlight.
You know, a lot of people showing him support right now as he ventures off to his next adventure, too.
Yeah. Late night comedy changed.
Yeah.
It's 6:26 this Friday morning. Busy travel weekend. The roads are quiet, at least for now, but they won't stay that way as people are heading out for Memorial Day. What you need to know before you get in the car or you make your flight.
Rough start. The Carolina Hurricanes fall to the Montreal Canadiens in Game 1. Reaction from the team as they hit a speed bump in their quest for the cup.
And we need a lot of rain to get us out of the drought. We had some good looking rainfall totals last night. I'll show you how much more we'll see through the holiday weekend.